Right, so I'm here to brighten up your day a little bit since you aren't actually seeing me over Zoom today. We're going to be working on pages 67 and 68, and it's going to kind of be combining what we've been doing all week. That way, you can watch this video and it's more of a review of what we've been doing. So what I want to do is take you through at least, should I be adding or subtracting for these problems? What do I need to do? So we're going to start with the first one. First one, Julia bought 3/5 of a yard of red ribbon. And this is going to be important because you're going to have to label which ribbon is longer. So I'm going to actually go ahead and circle my 3/5 of red ribbon in red. You do not have to do that, but this is more for you. And then 10/15 of purple ribbon. And our next step, which piece of ribbon was longer, okay? So in order to determine that, we need to compare these two fractions. And we could draw them out, but then we kind of be eyeballing it. And if you remember me saying, sometimes we don't draw so equally. I know I don't. So we're going to need to make sure these denominators match so we can accurately compare them. So I've got 3/5. And I've got 10/15. The first thing I'm going to look at when finding a common denominator is, can this 5 be turned into a 15? That way I don't have to change this fraction at all. And the answer to that is yes, absolutely. I will not need to change my 10/15. So when I'm rewriting my new fractions, I get to keep that one the same. One less thing for me to do. Then I'm going to change this fraction. I'm going to change the denominator. 5 times 3 equals 15 to give me a denominator of 15. And what you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. 3 times 3 is 9. So now I can see which piece of ribbon is bigger. I can see that I want the numerator that is larger. So your purple ribbon is going to be larger. Purple ribbon. Now, I'm not done because there's a B. Exactly what fraction of a yard longer was it? All right. So all that means is I need to, if you remember, subtract, right? Have your subtraction sign out. So I'm going to need to take the bigger number first, which is 10/15, and subtract our smaller number, which now is 9/15. Okay? Now remember, do not change the denominator. Okay? You're only subtracting 10 minus 9, which should equal 1/15 of a yard longer. Okay, you go ahead and circle your answer because that's a lot easier for me to see, and I very much appreciate it. Okay, for number 2, we've got Anthony goes running 3 times a week. This week he ran 3/5 of a mile on Monday, 2/3 of a mile on Wednesday, and 3/3 of a mile on Friday. How far did Anthony run this week? So in the whole week, we know he ran 3 times. There's 3 different fractions. This one is going to be the same thing as saying how far did he run all together in the entire week? And that all together word means you need to do addition. Do addition, right? Addition. That kind of looked, ooh, there we go, addition. We like to use our arms in this class to show things. Okay, now we're going to move on to 3, and 3 I'm actually going to do with you to kind of help because there's multiple steps there. So I'm just going to erase this really quickly. Super fast. I'm like a cheetah. Okay. On Monday, Leah spent 5/6 of an hour working on her homework. It's probably a long time. On Tuesday, she spent 3/4 of an hour on her homework. And on Wednesday, she finished her homework in 5/8 of an hour. Okay? In part A, on which day did Leah spend the least amount of time on her homework? So I'm going to go ahead and underline least, because I know that's going to be important. So she does her homework on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Okay, so on Monday she's going to do 5/6, and I'm going to label that just to help me. On Tuesday, she's going to do 3/4. And on Wednesday, she's going to do 5/8 of an hour. All right, so these are a little difficult to compare as they are right now. So what we're going to need to do, find a common denominator. In my head, I know all of these numbers can be multiplied into 24. So for example, if I were to rewrite these fractions, I would have a common denominator of 24 because 6 times 4 is 24. Once you do the bottom, you have to do the top, giving me 20 24ths. 4 times 6 is 24. And once you do the bottom, you have to do the top. 6 times 3 times 6, doesn't matter, is 18 24ths. And finally, 8 times 3 is going to give us, guess what? 24. And once you do the bottom, you have to do the top. So 5 times 3 is 15. Now I'm able to compare them. But I need to look back at the question, which is why I underlined least. On which day did Leah spend the least amount of time on her homework? Prove it. My proof is here. It's these numbers. So now all I need to do is write she spent the least amount of time on Wednesday. Circle it. If you want, you can circle the number, right? This is the least because the numerator is the smallest number. Okay? And then finally, 4B, how much time did Leah spend doing her homework on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in all? Is that important? Remember, same thing as all together, so that's going to be addition. We're going to then add 20 24ths plus 18 24ths plus 15 24ths all together. Okay? Now, in your head, you should be thinking, oh, that's going to be more than 1 hour. She definitely spent more than 1 hour. So, when you're adding these, again, you're doing 20 24ths plus 18 24ths plus 15 24ths. The math that you're ending up doing is 20 plus 18 plus 15. And again, it is okay to do it like that. There is nothing wrong with that. So you've got 13, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's going to give you 53. Keep the denominator the same, 24ths. Now, I need to turn this into a mixed number. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to think of this as a long division problem. I'm going to think of this as how many times can 24 go in to 53? And I know 24 times 2, 24 times 2 is going to equal 48. Okay, and that's about as close as I can get. So that means I can get 2 wholes. Here's my 2 wholes. And then I'm going to do 53 minus 48 because I took out 48. Again, you can do it like this. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so then I have 5 left over, 5/24 left over. And last thing I'm going to check is, do I, hopefully this is still working, I apologize, my computer just turned off. Next thing I want to check is, can I simplify this anymore? Is there a number I can divide out of both 5 and 24? The answer to that is no, because the only number you can divide out of 5 is 5, or 1. But you can't divide 5 out of 24. So, here's my answer. It's in hours. 2 and 5/24.